The incubator's on. You know what time it is. Come with me. Hey, how's it going everyone? It's Gavin from Balls to You. You'll have to excuse me because I am a little bit under the weather. However, never under the weather enough to be so excited about when the breeding season starts. So, in this tub here, we have a beautiful clutch of eggs, which, ironically, she's a bumblebee. And the bumblebee combo is what got me so excited and started in this hobby. And it's ironic that she's the first female to lay this season. Now, this bumblebee isn't just a normal bumblebee. She is a bald head bumblebee. Bald head bumblebee. I know, you couldn't make this up, could you? All jokes aside, this female looked very clean, very bright, and I'll tell you the story about her. The spider that produced this bumblebee came from Crystal Palace Reptiles. Now, at the time, Nerd were importing via Crystal Palace in the UK. The spider itself, remember guys, when I say quality breeds quality, the spider itself looked very bright, very gold colour, very reduced pattern, and a very clean head, thinking back. So I bred a beautiful pastel with the spider, and basically I produced some crazy looking animals. Didn't think much of it at the time, cracked on, grew her up and produced from her. I produced some twins. I produced my very first female banana spider, which I've still got to this day. There was something else going on I didn't quite know, and then I was watching some of Kevin McCurley's videos over at Nerd, and I noticed he'd got this gene, and some of the snakes he produced looked very similar to this bumblebee. So I hit Kevin up, had a chat with him, sent him the video link. He surely watched it, and sure enough, he confirmed, yes, it has the bull gene. With that in mind, I kept back from her clutch, I kept back a pastel banana, what I deemed to be a bald gene pastel banana. So I kept him back, grew him up. I didn't breed from him for her for a few seasons because I didn't want to create loads of holdbacks. So my plan was to wait till he got up to size before I bred him to her. So sure enough, last season nothing happened, bit of a bad year. However, this season I repeated the pairing, and sure enough we've got a clutch of eggs on the ground. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I set it up, get the eggs, get the female off, and I've showed you guys probably time and time again, but it doesn't hurt to refresh and just go over a few techniques. So I'm going to go over that now, and we'll see exactly how many she's give us. Now it's the first time pairing these two, and the male is the first, it's the first breeding for him. So I can see a slug, which is to be expected. However, what we're going to do is, you can see she's nested, and as you can see she's moved the Raptor chip around. She's decided this is the perfect temperature where I want to lay, not too hot, not too cold, but basically in the middle, so she can regulate the temperature to keep the eggs at the correct temperature. Now this female is normally a sweetheart. However, like any other mother protecting her babies, they can turn pretty nasty. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you from start to finish how I do things, just to refresh or to help anyone out there. As you can see, she's pretty much just chilled, so I'm just going to come in over the top, just let her know I'm here. She's now flicking her tongue out. She can obviously smell me. She's hissing a little bit, but all I'm going to do is just gently lift her up, get one end of the tail, and just slowly unwrap her like so. And obviously I'm going to check and just make sure she's empty, and by the looks of it she is. Yeah, just palpating down, just make sure there's no slugs in there. She's perfectly healthy and empty. So let's get her in a tub and I'll show you what we do next. As you can see, like I said, we have one slug, we have 5 beautiful eggs. Got our torch, I'm just going to give them a quick candle. Yeah, I can see veins. Yeah, yeah. Yep, there's veins there and there's veins there. I'll try and turn the light off so I can show you guys again. Okay, hopefully this one will work. You can see the strong veins there. The strong veins there, 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 and there. Now what I'm going to show you guys, a lot of people take the eggs, pull them apart and then rotate the eggs round to where the embryo is either at the top or the bottom, depending on what they do. I believe most people put it at the top. However, how they lay is how they stay. That's become pretty much one of my catchphrases, simply because in the wild the female wouldn't have the ability to look at where the embryo is to rotate them round. So I believe, and I've done this time and time again, I leave them as they are and I let them do their thing. So for example, this embryo on this egg is here. This embryo looks to be at the top here. This one is at the side, this one is at the side, and this one again is sort of, this one is sort of at the side as well. There goes my phone. So as you can see guys, I don't rotate them, I leave them as they are and I'll just let them do their thing. And yeah, like I said, in the wild they wouldn't rotate their eggs, so I don't rip them apart either or rotate them. So on to the next stage. First thing I do before I move them, I mark them. Give them a little mark on the top like so, just in case for whatever reason when I do cut them at 55 days, I know where the top is. So that's the only reason why I mark them. And obviously if they roll during incubation, which these are stuck together, they won't move, or I'll know the actual rotation of them. So, but anyway, let's get this slug out. There we go, just comes away like that. There is an embryo in there, I can see, or there's something in there, but because it's not fertilized, this will just basically be, it's no good guys. There's no point even incubating that, because there's no point. So we've got 5 healthy eggs. So let's get these set up in an egg box, which are already prepared, because if you fail to prepare to fail. So the egg boxes are set up, and I've got 2 different types of egg boxes. I've got one with the hatch trays in, and I've got one without the hatch trays in, simply because if these were all loose, I'd want to put them in the hatch tray just so they're nice and safe. But these are all stuck together, so we can use a normal crate. So let's get the egg box out and let's get this set up. So here we have a simple WAM shoe box, which has been set up how I set my egg boxes. And again, I'll put a link in the description box below or up above now on the screen somewhere here on how to set up egg boxes. It's idiot proof, it works really well. I've done it for years and I rave about it. Now let's just go back to the mom, which I'll tell you the details about her in a moment. So we're going to get the eggs set up on here. The egg crate is there, they're already nice and warm, already set up to temperature. So I'm just going to place the eggs in there now. Voila, simple as that. Simple, simple, simple. Lid goes on, tub goes in the incubator. I'll show you now what we do to record the records and to how we record the information of what's going on here, and we'll go from there. First things first, so recording the data. Data is key, so record the information moving forward. So Aurora, which is the female bumblebee, I hatched her in 2012, so you can see how old she is. She's not a very big female, but she does produce nonetheless. She, I believe to be, is a bald bumblebee along with Kevin McCurley, and I produced her son back in 2017, which again I believe to be a bald gene pastel banana, or a pastel banana bald gene. So they've both got a barcode. So what I do, I take my phone out. I use a system called Reptiscan. So all I do, I scan the female's barcode and it gives me all the information. It tells me everything, how they've locked, when they've locked, when she shed, etc, etc. So this particular female, her last breeding was on the 14th of January. It is now the 8th of February. So I recorded her shedding out on the 9th of the 1st. So if you look, we're basically almost 29 days, and she's laid a clutch of eggs. So when I use Reptiscan, I only mainly use it for the breeding season, to record the sheds and record the introductions when I introduce a male into a female, and obviously the locks. I also use it for the clutch as well. So in this instance, we've got a little icon there which says clutch. I'll click on the clutch, scan the fathers. So we know there's only been one father. Scan the father. So it's saying scan fathers, so it gives you an option to scan multiple fathers, but we've just got the one, so that's done. So now we've got eggs, we've got the father, we've got the count. So we had 6 in total. We had 5 good and we had 1 bad. Okay, so what we'll then do is record that. Registration complete. So now what we'll do, if we move across and we go to my clutches, we can see there it is the ID, which is 2020-1. Okay, so that's the first clutch for this season. So that records it. As you can see, last season I only had 11 clutches, but this season we're starting off with 2020-1. So I will print a label off and I'll show you guys exactly what I do with the label. Okay, I've printed off the label, and as you can see now, it gives me a QR code. Okay, so basically I can scan this label and I can get all the information I need. However, it does tell me everything on there. As you can see, you know, we've got the father, we've got the mother, we've got the egg count, we've got the laid date, and we've also got the due date. This counts exactly 55 days, but as you can see as well, it will be a little bit, what's the word? They may hatch a little bit earlier or a little bit later depending on your temperatures, but this works out basically 55 days, and it gives you a rough date which will be on the 3rd of April, which we can expect to see heads popping out. So the labels are really good. I stick them on the front of the tub, and then I don't have to worry about that. If I wanted to, I could scan it and see exactly what's going on, or scan it and see the information, and from that I can actually create a hatchling list. So from this label I can create the babies, if you like. So every baby that hatches out, all 5 of them, I can now trace their identity back with this. So it's a real good system. I really enjoy using it. Like I said, I only use it for breeding. There's so much more you can use it for. So let's get this on the tub, and then we'll get the female cleaned up, and I'll show you how we get her set back up. So as you can see, I've completely disinfected her tub. I've basically got rid of all the bedding, fresh dish of water, or fresh deli cup with a new dish, new substrate, fresh, all in there. I'll put a hide in there for her now. I'm going to get her cleaned up. The next thing I do before that, or the last thing I do, let's say, before I put her away, I will weigh her and record her weight on the Reptiscan, so I know after she laid how much she was weighing. Again, I keep that data year in, year out, because it does help with the up and coming or the next breeding season. So long and short, hide will go in there now. We'll clean her up and we'll get her put away so she can chill. She's done a job. give her a few more days and I'll offer her some food. No doubt she'll take that food, so we'll get her all cleaned up like I said and put her away. So here she is, the mom in question. You've done absolutely amazing, sweetheart. Thank you very much. She's an absolute sweetheart. I love all my ball pythons, but this one in Sugar seems to have a little bit of a place. As you can see, absolutely no issues there with spider wobble. She's an absolutely beautiful example. And she's an absolute sweetheart, so well done to you, mommy. So we'll see your babies in 55 days. So let's get her weighed, let's get her put away so she can have a rest, because I believe she's earned a rest, and we will, like I said, see her babies in 55 days. So let's get her weighed. We're going to get her weighed now, and I use, for the adults, I use a pillowcase, and I use a fishing hook, or a fish weighing scale. It's got a little hook on the end, as you can see, and it just makes it a lot easier to weigh your females or males depending on what you're weighing. The hatchlings I tend to use like a little puppy scales, which work really well, but what we'll do for her, like I said, we'll put her in a bag, in a pillowcase, and we'll get her weighed, and we'll see exactly what she's weighing. So typically the pillowcase weighs around about 60 grams. So all I do, just hook this under here, like so. Just wait for it to slow down. Let's do it again. So that was 15-15. Okay, so let's do her again, just in case there is a bit of a discrepancy. 15-15. So we'll take off 60 grams from that, and that'll give us her weight. We'll record that, put that in the Rept scan. So we'll record that, put that in the Rept scan, and yeah, we'll start offering her some food in probably about 3 or 4 days time once she's calmed down. What I tend to do, once I'm doing a normal feed, obviously the room will be scented, so, and I will see if she's come to the front of her tub. If she's come to the front of the tub, I know she's interested and she wants food. She feeds predominantly well. She's not a very big snake, but she does love her food. She's good as gold. We'll get her back in and we will let her rest up. So there you have it, guys, first clutch of the 2020 season, and so far I do believe I'm going to make it better than last season, because last season I only had 11. This season I know there's definitely 12 females that are gravid. I'm currently breeding around about 56 females this season, all being well, so we'll see how the season progresses, but to have 12 females already gravid this early on is absolutely awesome. So, and again, for those who are breeding out there, and for those who are probably new to the breeding season, I use that very loosely, or very new to breeding, don't stress. Take your time, follow the process. Okay, it's not a race. I'm just very happy because last season for me it wasn't the best, so this season for me is very important. So everything looks to be on track, and yeah, all I can hope for is healthy babies and healthy parents. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in, thanks for all your love and support, thanks for smashing that like button, and for those who give me the thumbs down, thanks for viewing my video, giving me them minutes. I'm just messing. I love you haters. Thanks for all your support, love and respect you all, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.